Randy Orton's long-awaited return has taken place, so we'll see what's happening there. We'll also see what's up with the Bella twins, Paige, and more. Starting things off, the big turn in the Bellas and Paige program and everything we just learned there. The story here first started back in April. The Bella twins were set to take part in the women's tag team titles match at WrestleMania 42, which was a title match that the Bellas were the favorites to win and finally accomplish their last career goal of becoming women's tag team champions with each other. But tragedy struck when Nikki Bella suffered a devastating ankle injury just a few days away from WrestleMania 42. This caused WWE to call an audible and find Brie Bella a new tag team partner that ended up being the returning Paige. Paige returned at WrestleMania 42 and won the tag team titles with Brie Bella that night. Not only did they win the titles there at WrestleMania, they would go on to have a pretty solid and dominant title reign that featured a lot of big wins and ran all the way to July, where they lost the titles to Fatal Influence. And the big question here with this story that everybody was asking literally since the first night was the question of, how did Nikki Bella feel about Paige and Brie Bella becoming champions? Paige came right in and literally took Nikki's spot alongside Brie. Nikki had to sit on the sidelines while Paige pretty much lived her dream of being tag team champions with Brie. That had to be tough for Nikki Bella the character to sit back and watch that. Everyone's main theory for months was that Nikki Bella would destroy Paige once she was back to kick Paige out and take back her spot alongside Brie. And we didn't get that right away. Nikki Bella returned to save Paige and Brie and was by their side for a few weeks there. But that long-awaited heel-turning moment did finally take place at SummerSlam itself. After coming up short in the 3-on-3 tag team match against Fatal Influence, Nikki Bella led a beatdown on Paige to officially mark the beginning of Bella's heel turn. Nikki initially turned heel last November, but that heel run sort of evaporated into thin air when Brie returned in early 2026. But it looks like Nikki is once again returning to her heel persona, and Brie is also joining her this time around. As far as motive and reasoning for Nikki's attack on Paige, we didn't have to wait long to get it. As the Bellas were walking up the ramp after betraying Paige, Nikki Bella said that she hopes Paige learned her lesson to never take her spot. So the reasoning is exactly what everyone assumed it was. Nikki wasn't happy about Paige taking her spot, tagging with Brie, and had to put a hard stop to it with that heel turn. They did tell us within the story that it was Nikki's character that made the phone call to Paige to bring her in, but maybe Nikki didn't imagine Paige and Brie having this much success as a tag team. So that's when the jealousy started to grow there from Nikki towards Paige. Paige is now separated from the Bellas, and the Bellas can continue their run as heels. The Bellas are on a farewell tour themselves right now, with both twins seeming very locked in on retiring at the end of their current deals, which expire in late 2027 and very early 2028. So maybe a large chunk of their immediate future will be spent as heels. But the other tragedy behind the situation here is that Brie Bella has now gone down with a serious injury. Brie Bella had her arm in an awkward position at ringside during the spot with the steel steps and appeared to have severely injured her shoulder, which Triple H did confirm on the post-show. So just horrible luck there for the Bellas so far in 2026. Right as they're going to win the tag team titles earlier in the year, Nikki went down with an injury. And right now, as they were going to start their heel arc together, Brie Bella goes down with an injury. So you really feel for the Bellas right there. They can't really catch a break and peacefully enjoy this final run together. So no one knows how long Brie Bella will be out of action for. Had Brie remained healthy, maybe this was leading towards a huge tag team rematch from over 10 years ago, with the story setting up the heel Bellas versus Paige, who was all by herself. It sure did seem like Paige would have to find a new tag team partner to balance the odds out against the Bellas. And it just so happens that one of Paige's close friends, AJ Lee, could have been sitting by the phone waiting for a call. If Paige needed someone to help her fight off the Bellas, it sure does seem like Paige would turn to the same person she turned to back in 2015, and that's AJ Lee. Paige and AJ Lee versus the Bellas was a big tag team match back at WrestleMania 31 in 2015. And with AJ retiring and Paige and Nikki both going through career-ending injuries just years apart, it really seemed like there was just no shot of ever seeing those women share the ring with each other ever again. But all of a sudden, it sure does seem like the stars have aligned, and a match between Paige and AJ Lee versus the Bellas sure does seem like a realistic possibility in 2026. AJ's next program could be to reunite with Paige and help her fight off the Bellas, which is a battle that AJ and Paige are not strangers to at all. That did seem like a strong possibility, but what makes that plan seem less possible now is of course that injury to Brie. If Brie is going to miss a lot of time, it sure does seem like this story could adjust to just Paige versus Nikki Bella, which seems like a pretty solid option as well. Two WWE legends going at it there with each other. Lots of history spanning back over a decade ago, even with a lot of recent history and everything that just happened at WrestleMania 42 and SummerSlam. So even just Paige versus Nikki Bella could be an exciting program. And a very big program that has no title involved either. Just a very cool non-title feud right there. So now we'll see how that story adjusts with the injury to Brie and how they work around that. Expect that story to continue on Smackdown. Another theory that everyone was right about was a SummerSlam return for Randy Orton. Randy had not been seen inside a WWE ring since WrestleMania 42 Night 1. And everyone's assumption was that Randy would appear during the WWE title match at SummerSlam to screw over Cody Rhodes, and that's exactly what happened. Randy appeared in the closing moments of the Cody Rhodes vs. CM Punk match to drop Cody and cost him the WWE title. Telling by how that return played out there, what it appears to tell us is that neither Randy or Cody will be going after the WWE title in the immediate future. It seems like Cody and Randy will continue their program coming out of SummerSlam with a personal non-title feud. CM Punk will be doing everything else with the WWE title, while Randy and Cody battle things out there amongst themselves. But it does seem possible that whoever comes out of this next round between Cody versus Randy would have a pretty solid case to come after the WWE title. So if Randy comes out on top against Cody, maybe there's a chance we see Randy versus CM Punk for the very first time in a very long time for the WWE Championship. And if Cody beats Randy, maybe Cody gets another rematch for the title. It just seems like that Randy versus Cody feud will be very important in determining who could be facing CM Punk for the WWE title in the next few months here. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.